Reality shows are supposed to be fun. We laugh at the drama, the wild challenges, the awkward moments. It all feels safe, like something we're just watching for entertainment. But sometimes it goes too far. Behind the jokes and fake smiles, some reality shows reveal something much darker. They show us how people break down when they're pushed too hard, how far producers will go for a good shot, and how easy it is to turn real pain into a game. This isn't just about shocking TV clips. This is about control, humiliation, and how real people were changed forever, sometimes hurt, sometimes broken, all while the cameras kept rolling. This is the most disturbing reality show psychological iceberg, starting with the awkward and strange, and sinking into manipulation, trauma, and horror. Let's begin with Level 1. Level 1. Cringe and Control. America's Next Top Model. This show was about to be about fashion, beauty, and success. But behind the glamour, it often felt more like a social experiment. Contestants were told to pose in coffins, pretend to be victims, or wear outfits that made them uncomfortable. In some seasons, models had to wear blackface or simulate their own death for a photo shoot. The goal wasn't just to look good. It was to do whatever the show told them, no matter how upsetting it felt. Even their bodies weren't safe. One girl was pressured to close the gap in her teeth. Another was told to make hers bigger. They were constantly being reshaped, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to fit the show's idea of what made good TV. The most disturbing part? The pain was packaged as progress. If someone cried or broke down, it was framed as a dramatic moment, not a cry for help. The show taught viewers that suffering made you stronger, and that boundaries were made to be pushed, not respected. At its core, it wasn't about modeling. It was about control, disguised as self-improvement, a kind of emotional training camp that rewarded the most obedient and punished the most human. After a while, being judged feels normal. You start to think the pain means you're getting better. But what if changing yourself isn't enough? What if you have to reshape yourself to feel accepted? We go deeper in Level 2. Level 2. Fame at any cost. The Swan. This show was a reality show where women were promised a chance to become beautiful. But it came with a price: plastic surgery, strict rules, and emotional pressure. Contestants were called ugly in the first episode. Then doctors and therapists prepared them, not to heal their minds, but to reshape their faces and bodies. They weren't allowed to see a mirror until the makeover was finished. When they finally saw themselves, it was in front of judges. If they didn't win, they were sent home, permanently changed, physically and emotionally, with no support system. Some contestants later said they felt worse than before. Some said they didn't even recognize themselves. This wasn't self-improvement. It was identity demolition. The show made women believe they had to be fixed to be loved, and once they were perfect, they were still rejected. The deeper fear here isn't just about body image. It's about being told that who you are isn't enough, that your pain can be solved with a knife. But even after you've sacrificed everything, you still might not be worthy. When your body no longer feels like yours, the next thing to go is your mind. Isolation, pressure, and surveillance, not to fix you, but to break what's left. Level 3 is where identity starts to vanish. Level 3. Isolation and identity loss. The Ultimatum. This is a show that claims to help couples, but what it really does is pull them apart. Partners are separated, then pushed to live with and date complete strangers. It's called a relationship test, but it's more like emotional warfare. There's no safe space, no calm moment to think. Cameras follow every word, every tear. People cry, scream, and beg to be heard. And all of it is edited into entertainment. This isn't therapy. It's a setup. The goal isn't healing. It's collapse. And when love finally breaks down, the audience watches like it's a sport. The most private parts of someone's hearts are exposed to millions just to make good TV. This level of reality show doesn't stab you. It slowly takes things away. Your peace, your connection, your sense of safety. It turns real emotion into a product. And when it's done, the show moves on, but the people don't. At this point, the pain isn't by accident. It's part of the plan. These shows know how to hurt people, and they do it on purpose. Get ready for Level 4. Level 4, exploiting pain. Temptation Island. This looks just like another dating show, but behind the palm trees and beach sunsets, it hides something much darker. Couples arrive thinking it's a test of love, but what they get is separation, seduction, and surveillance. They're split up and placed in villas filled with attractive strangers. Hidden cameras film every moment. Then, the worst part, they're shown clips of their partner crying, flirting, or breaking down, but only out of context. Only the worst parts. And while all this happens, the producers stay silent. They don't comfort anyone. They don't try to stop the spiral. Instead, they pour more drinks, isolate emotions, and let jealousy grow like fire. It's a show built around pain, not by accident, but by design. The goal isn't love, it's collapse. Some couples leave broken, some individuals leave numb, and some say they've never trusted the same way again. This level is where reality TV turns into emotional gambling. But what happens when the collapse isn't the end of the episode? It becomes the entertainment itself. Some shows don't just show breakdowns, they need them. Crying, fighting, falling apart. That's the goal now. In Level 5, your pain becomes the show. Level 5, emotional breakdown as entertainment. Love Island. This show looks like a dream. Beautiful people, sunny beaches, and a chance at love. But behind the poolside flirting is a pressure cooker. Every move is judged, not just by other contestants, but by millions of viewers watching at home. The rules are simple. Be attractive, be exciting, and don't show too many real emotions. If you're too quiet, too serious, or too different, you're voted off. It's love turned into a game show, one where your value is based on how entertaining you are. But when the cameras turn off, the pain doesn't. Several people connected to the show, including contestants and even a host, have taken their own lives. Some say they were left feeling used, exposed, and unsupported. Fame came fast, but when it faded, the mental health struggles stayed. The show turned breakdowns into moments of drama. But for the people living through them, they're not episodes. They're real emotional wounds, ones the audience is encouraged to watch, but never help heal. When pain becomes content, the trauma becomes a twist. The line between show and suffering disappears. Now the pain becomes real, not just crying or stress, but danger. Some people get hurt. Some never recover. Level 6 shows what happens when real suffering is edited into prime-time gold. Level 6, real danger, real damage. There's something about Miriam. This show is just like another dating show, but behind the scenes, it was hiding a cruel setup. A group of men were asked to compete for the love of Miriam Rivera, a beautiful, charming woman. What they didn't know, and what the producers kept secret, was that Miriam was a transgender woman. They weren't told the truth until the final episode. When it came out, some of the men felt tricked, embarrassed, and even angry. Miriam said later that she feared for her safety. And watching the footage, it's clear her identity wasn't respected. It was used as a punchline. She wasn't treated like a person. She was treated like a twist ending. The worst part? Years later, Miriam died under suspicious circumstances. Some believe it was suicide. Others think it wasn't. But no matter the cause, her death felt like the final note in a long song of exploitation. This wasn't just bad TV. It was emotional violence broadcast for laughs. The show used someone's identity to shock the audience without ever thinking about the long-term pain. Reality shows aren't always fake. Sometimes the harm is real, and the damage follows people long after the cameras stop. When exploitation reaches its final form, the cameras don't blink. They record collapse, not as tragedy, but as climax. There's one level left, the deepest, the coldest, the place where reality TV becomes psychological warfare. This is Level 7. Level 7, psychological collapse and death. Russian survivor-style show, Game 2, Winter. Game 2, Winter was promoted as the most extreme survival reality show ever made. It came out of Russia and claimed to have only one rule. There were no rules. Contestants would be dropped into the frozen wilderness where they could do anything and have anything done to them. The show's creators said crimes like theft, assault, or even murder could happen, and they wouldn't step in. Contestants had to sign waivers agreeing to be hunted, attacked, or left to freeze. Viewers were promised something raw and real, a brutal, lawless game. But behind that promise was something far darker. The footage that did come out was hard to separate from real life. Was it staged? Was it a stunt? Or was it just the beginning of a dangerous idea? Even though the full show never aired, the damage was already done. Just the idea of it blurred the line between entertainment and psychological collapse. This wasn't about watching people survive. It was about watching them break, watching them feel forgotten, watching them turn on each other to be seen, to be famous, even if it meant being destroyed. The real horror wasn't what aired. It was what we were willing to accept, what we were willing to watch, and how far people will go when they think no one is coming to help. At first, these shows seemed like guilty fun, just games, just TV. But with each deeper level, it became clearer. Reality television can cross into something much darker. When pain becomes content and suffering becomes a storyline, we have to ask, where does entertainment end and exploitation begin? These weren't just shows. They were real people breaking down in front of us. This was the most disturbing reality show's psychological iceberg, and some parts of it we were never meant to see.